What are tags in UiPath? Why do I require them? Benefits of using tags? How can I use them? And what are the taggable objects? All of this we are going to discuss in today's video. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to discuss about tags management portal. Last year 2022 this feature was enabled by UiPath for us, and today we are going to explore more about this thing. My name is Mukesh Kala. I am 3 times UiPath most valuable professional, and today I would walk you all through this topic which is called the tags management portal. Talking about the agenda, this would be our agenda for today. We are going to start with what are tags, why do I require them, what are the benefits of using tags, what are resource catalog service, how do we create tags, some examples, some permission, how we can do the create, update, delete, views, how you can create tags in bulk, and at the end we are going to discuss about the limitation of the tags. Okay, at any point of time if you want to jump to a specific section, we have timestamp available in the description of the video, so you can simply go to the timestamp, click on the time, and the video should navigate to the place which you are interested to watch. Having said that, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing first, what are tags, right? Tags help us to categorize the resources and provide a better visibility and association among the resources. This definition might look a little bit confused, but to give you an example, let's take an example of a college. Okay, in a college I can have multiple departments, I can have various streams, then I can have students who are playing different sports. Okay, so let's say I am the dean of the university. I make an announcement and I say that all the students who are studying commerce come to room number 1. So what would happen? Automatically from the 10,000 students, I would get a group of people who are studying commerce. Next, I make one more announcement that out of these students, whosoever is playing basketball as the sport, I want you to come out and go to room number 2. So automatically I would have one more subset of students or one more subset of data which is now segregated as per my requirement, right? So basically what tags does, the same concept applies to your automations also. Today I want to know all the automations which are running for finance department. I want to know all the assets which are created for my production environment. I want to know all the assets which belongs to this vertical and this client. How can I do that? So that is where you require tags. So tags help us you to categorize the resources and provide the better visibility and associations as well, right? When we are going the real time demonstration, then you would understand this. The second question is, why do I even require them? Now, today you might having a 5 automation, 6 automation. It is very easy for you to manage the resources. When I say resources, it can be asset, process, any things which are related to your automation. Now, as the automation size grow, the number of resources expand and so does the management. Today you are able to manage the resources because your automations are few. Now, once your automation grows, you might have challenges such as difficulties in finding out which object belong to which automation, which all assets belong to which categories, right? You have an increased work to categorize, manage, track the dependencies between object. Now, today you might be using an Excel, Notepad or some kind of databases to store this information. If you are someone who is managing the orchestrator, you might have to know that all the assets which are related to the finance department are here. All the assets which are related to the HR department are here. So you might be having some information or you might be noting it in some place. The other way you might be doing is some kind of naming conventions, right? But what happens if somebody mess up with that? Your entire management is gone. The other thing, tomorrow there is a task where you have to update the resources only for a particular segment. I only want to update the resources which are using the Edge browser. The second statement could be I only want to update the assets which are dealing with Chrome browser. How would you do that? The next one is no visibility into the potential downtime brought by upgrading an application. Let's say today I am using a version of SQL and the company says that we want to upgrade the SQL from version 1 to version 2. You need to know that which all applications or which all automations are using this application. So then you have to go to each and every automation, you have to find out, and it's a kind of a challenge for us. All of these challenges can be easily addressed with the help of tags. Okay, let's take an example. I have a company. In a company, I can have finance, I can have HR, I can have legal, and I can have n number of departments. Okay. Now, I have automations which are working for all of these verticals. When I talk about environments, I can have prod, I can have test, I can have UAT. Similarly, all these automations which are working for finance, which are in working in testing domain, can be using either database, they can use a web browser, they can use some kind of files and folder, or they can use a spreadsheet or n number of applications. Now, this list can grow up. You can again add more details like databases, SQL or Oracle. When I say file and folder, which folder? When I say website, which kind of website? And you can make n number of subsets of data, right? Now, if I want to manage all the subsets of data within my orchestrator, how would we do that, right? Let me quickly go back to my orchestrator and show you this thing in working. This is my orchestrator. In my orchestrator, I have this admin folder. Okay, there I have around 30 assets, right? It can be 300, 3000, any number of processes or assets, right? I go to the assets and now I have all these assets available. I simply want to know which all assets are related to the finance domain. How I can do that? I can simply go here in the labels and I can say that I want to see only the finance. And that's it, right? I can see that all these assets are related to the finance domain. What else? From the finance domain, I want to know which all are there for whom the environment is, let's say, testing. And the data again drill down to a place where I can see that all these assets are now with the finance and the environment for them is testing, right? I hope you got the context. So this is what the tags does to your resources in orchestrator, and that is what we are going to see more in this tutorial. Okay, let's proceed. Now I have got a gist of tags. I understood the problem statement. What are the benefits of using tags, right? The first benefit which you get is the increasing of the developer productivity. With the help of tags, we can help the developers to identify which resources are relevant to them. They become able to focus on adding the value rather than spending an infinity of time looking for one piece of process that might be impacting, right? So you can definitely increase productivity. If you are someone who is managing the orchestrator as an admin, so we are also saying that it increases the administrator productivity. With a consistent and a proper tag structure in your organization, you can start creating a unified taxonomy and you can enforce that to all the resources and all the developers, and I would say all the users, right? So your unified taxonomy is there, everybody follows that, so you know that which resources are in which areas. The last bit, when all your resources are tagged and you are following a unified taxonomy, you can easily search, you can easily look up the resources, and you easily know that which resource belong to which category. Now, an important thing to remember here, tags are stored by orchestrator and the resource catalog service. Okay, so whatever tags we create are stored by the orchestrator, and there is something which is called resource catalog service, right? Now this is a new term which I have highlighted, resource catalog service. Before we drill down more into the tags, we need to understand what is this resource catalog service. Resource catalog is a tenant level service used to aggregate resources, serving as the foundation of tags, right? So it is a tenant level service. This is highlighted here, tenant level service. Okay. Resource catalog service help you to track the relationships and dependencies. That's obvious. And why do I want to do it? Because my automations are ever expanding. Now, tags stored by the resource catalog service can be created for assets, right? You can have tags for processes, queues, you can tag the storage buckets, you can tag the machine, studio packages, and the action center actions, right? So as of now, you can tag all of these resources which are highlighted on the screen. Why would I like to use the resource catalog service? The first thing is cross-reference resources between services. You can add a tag to an asset, and that tag would be available for the actions as well. It's not like that I have created a tag for assets, and when I'm going to tag the queues or the processes, I have to recreate the tags, right? It is the cross reference resources. The same tags would be applicable to all of these things which are highlighted on the screen, right? So if you have created some tag for processes, that can be again utilized for assets as well. Next thing is you can group resources by business case. I can have machines, I can have machine templates, I can have process, queues, various assets as per the business case, right? My business is finance. I want to tag, group all the resources, done by resource catalog. Last one, filter and find all the objects with the same tag, right? This we have already seen that example. If you want to see all the objects which are for a certain automation, you can simply search at the tenant level for the tags corresponding to that automation, and relevant objects would be displayed, right? So this complete service is called a resource catalog service, right? So don't get confused with the term. This is called resource catalog service. More details about the resource catalog service is available in the reference doc, which I have linked in the description as well. Okay, let's move forward to creating the tags. Okay, before creating the tags, you need to know what are the permissions required and what are the taggable objects, right? So first thing, to use this feature, you need to be an organization administrator, right? Whenever you are creating that organization in your orchestrator, you need to have an admin. All the other roles apart from admin, the tag menu would be grayed out, right? You would not see the tag menu if you are not an organization administrator for your tenant or for your orchestrator, I would say, right? The next thing is, if you see this table in the orchestrator, you can tag all of these things. In the studio, you can tag packages. In the action center, you can tag the actions, right? So this is the detail which you need to know before you go and jump into the creating of the tags, right? So you need to be an organization admin, right? Now let me quickly go back to this slide which talk about creating of the tags. Before I go into creating of the tags, you need to understand that I have two types of tags which are available. One is called labels and other is called the properties. Okay, so when you talk about tags, there are two kinds of tags. One is called label and the other is called properties. Label is like simply labeling the items like finance, HR, legal. Whereas when I talk about the properties, it is having a key value pair. So what is a key value pair? You can think it as a dictionary, right? I can have environments like production, testing, and UAT. So you have a key and then you have three values, right? You can have applications such as you can have databases, you can have files, you can have Excel. So one key and different values, right? So you have key and you have value. When you talk about the values, the value can be of these types. You can have strings, you can have numbers, right? So for example, you want to create an automation where you want to define the values like 100, 200, 300. It can be thresholds, right? I want to know all the automations which are having a threshold of 500. So your key would be a threshold and the value would be 500, 1000, 1500 and so on, right? You can use the custom regex also, allowing you to add the desired string we already know, numbers 0 to 9, and these details are available for you in the description as well, right? So to take from this slide, you have to remember that I have two kinds of tags. One is called labels and the other is called properties. Okay, now let's move to the orchestrator and see where we can create the tags and how we can utilize them. Okay, so I am in my cloud.uipath.com. Okay, so the first thing first is you need to go to your admin, which is available here on the left hand side menu. You would see something which is called the admin section. Click on that, and here you would see all the tenants which you have created, right? So for me, I have created this tenant which is called the orchestrator service. Okay, I'll click on this tenant and it should navigate me to a place where I can see services, licenses, settings and all of this. One more thing, this is applicable only if you are in the new admin experiences. Okay, so you have to enable this at new admin experiences at the top. Okay, once you are at this place, you would see a section which says has tags, right? I click on that, and this is the place where you are going to create the tags. Okay, so as you can see, I have created a tags for finance, HR, right? So as we have discussed that there are two kinds of tags. One is called labels and another is called properties, which is nothing but a key value pair. Okay, so as you can see in the label, I have got finance and I have got HR. Let's say tomorrow I am adding a new department which is called legal, right? So how easy it is. So I simply go here and I say add a label and I name the label as legal, right? So this I say that this is for the legal department automation. Okay, and I hit add. Now in the label you can see I have finance, HR and legal, right? So I have made a spelling mistake. You can go here and you can always edit it like this and save. Okay, finance and HR I have already created. If you do not want anything, you can simply go and delete it from here as well, right? And this is the place here you would also notice one thing, that tagged object. It is showing me that for this finance label you have 3 objects which are tagged. To know more about this, you can simply go here and you can say list the tagged objects, right? So that we'll explore in the later half, but to just to know that why it is coming at 0, 1 and 3, because for this label I have got 1 object, for this label I have got 3, for this we recently created, so I do not have anything, right? Tomorrow I add a new department. Let's say I am adding a manufacturing department, so I just go here and I say manufacturing, and this is the manufacturing automations, right? Descriptions always help. Add it, right? So that is how you add labels. Manufacturing, I do not have any tagged objects, so this is also 0. Okay, the other kind of the tags which were discussed was the properties, which is here, which is nothing but key value pair. Okay, as you can see I have got multiple here, so let me just quickly delete this. I do not want them. Okay, now as we know that an environment can be production, testing, UAT and development, right? How would I have created? Let's create a new property. Now I'm saying that I want to create it for the kind of applications I am using in my company, right? I can use this one and I say that add value applications, right? Now what all applications we can have? We can have Chrome, add the Chrome. I can have Edge, add the Edge. Okay, I can have databases, add the database. I can have Excel, add an Excel, right? and so on and so forth, right? I can have SAP, add an SAP, and add, right? Once it is done, I simply go here and I say add. That way, now I have created a key value application pair for the key application, and it can have these values. Environments, I can have production, testing, UAT, and development. When I was showing you the slide, we saw that it can be integers, boolean as well, right? Let's try to add some integer, right? Let's say I am writing automations where I have some threshold or age or anything, right? It can be string, number, boolean, or regex. I can say that it is number, add value, and I want to add a threshold of 1000. I can add 1000 here, 2000, hit add 2000, 3000, add 3000, 4000, add 4000, 5000. It can be any number. Add. Once this done, go here and I say add, and that's it. I have created 3 properties. Being an admin of an automation cloud, you can decide all this value. The same concept applies here as well. This I have used in one tagged object, so this is 1. This we have recently created, so it is 0. Okay, so that is how you create tags in Orchestrator. There are some things which you need to remember and which are very important when you are creating tags. This I have opened the docs.uipath.com where they have mentioned all these things in details. This I want to particularly show it to you that tags are case insensitive. Okay, each object can have maximum of 1 million key value pairs. Okay, label and key value properties are limited to 256 characters. Your tag name cannot contain characters such as these. Okay, the following tags are proprietary to UiPath Studio, and you cannot define and use them on your objects, right? So these are the tags which are defined by UiPath. So this is very important for you guys to remember whenever you are creating the tags, right? So you might have questions around limits and the key value pairs. So I hope these details answer that. So that was the thing about creating the tags. So that is how you create labels, and that is how you create the properties. Okay. So once you have created these tags, the next question is how I can utilize these labels and properties in our automations, or I would say in the resources, right? So for that, let us go back to the orchestrator. I'll go here and you could see that I have got this orchestrator here. Right click, open link in new tab. Okay. Now, one thing to remember here, this should be the same tenant, the orchestrator service, right? So this is a tenant which I have defined the tags, and when I'm opening the orchestrator, it is the same orchestrator, right? So don't make a mistake of opening a different tenant orchestrator and then looking for a different tenant tags, right? So that won't work, right? So this is my orchestrator here. Okay, this, as you can see at the top, I am in the same tenant, which is the orchestrator service, and this is the tenant where we have defined these tags. Okay, I am the admin, so I have this privilege of creating these tags. Okay, in my orchestrator, as we know that assets are something which are in the taggable resources, so I go to the assets. Let's try to create a new asset. Create a new asset. Okay, so let's say I am creating an asset where I am going to store the database password. Okay, so I go here and I say that this is the database password. Okay, since this is credential, I go here and I say credential. Now this details, I just change it to admin, and I just change it to admin, right? Adding some sample values. Now this is my database password. So I am going here and I'm just giving some description that this is my database password. Now I know that this asset is going to be used by the legal department, right? So as you can see here in the labels, I have legal department, there are no items tag, and application, this is database. Okay, so here once you have created this asset, this is as per we have been using traditionally as well, right? So asset the same way. When you scroll down, you would have a section now which is called tags. I click here and you are getting all these options which are coming directly from your automation cloud. These are the labels which you would see in the labels here. I know that this database password is going to be used by legal. So you are free to select multiple values. You can do it here. And I also know that this is the database password. So the next thing is you have labels and the properties here. So I click on this plus button and I can see that all this option which I have selected there are applicable here as well. So in the applications, and now this is a drop down, right? So as an admin, you are enforcing all the people who are creating asset to use this value. So I'm saying that application is database, and this is the password. Let's say it's for development, testing, or UAT. So I go here and I say that the environment should be testing, and I hit create. So the asset is created here, database asset, database password. Here you can see the label are defined as legal, and in the properties you can see that application is the database and environment is testing. You might be having a question, I have already created an asset. Can I update it? The answer is yes, right? Let's say this one, email address. I go there, this is a text kind of asset. Click on these three dots, click on edit, and now you can add to this one. Let's say this email ID is again for the legal department, and here I would say that the environment for this is development, and I say update. That's it. Now you can see that I have assigned a label and I have assigned the properties as well. Okay, so that is how easy it is to allocate the tags to assets. We have seen that we can tag multiple resources. The other resource which you could tag is the processes, right? Let's go to the automations. You have these processes here, right? So I know that the Acme linear process is a process for the legal department, right? Legal we just created, so I am taking that. As you can see that I have no labels and properties here. Go here, edit it. In the additional settings, which is the last tab, you would have the same options, the tags and the labels, right? So now I can simply go here and I can say that this is for the legal. Click on this plus, and this automation is, let's say I am tagging it to production, and I hit update, right? So these are some of the sample things. You can think it more from your organization and more kind of automation you are dealing with, right? So that is how simple it is to tag the elements. So once you are done tagging, the next question arises, how I can visualize and where I can see all those tags and all those information, right? So I'll go back to the home. This is how you would see your main orchestrator homepage. Now to view the created tags or to use the filter condition, you just simply have to go to this button at the top, which is that search. When you click on this search, you would get this page where it is showing all the resources here. Now at the top, you are seeing that show me all the labels. Here by default it is set to all, but if I go here and click on this drop down and I say that I only want to see the resources which are for legal, so I go and I select here legal, and you could see that these are all the things which we just allocated, right? In the admin folder, this was the process, this was the asset, and this was the existing asset we just edited and we assigned it to the legal. Now inside the legal, I want to see which all are of the testing. So the next thing is properties here. You go to the testing environment, and you select testing. only one asset you have, which is for legal department and where the environment is testing. Okay, you can clear this filter. You can clear this filter. Now, the next thing is I want to know all the resources where they are using databases. So I can go to the properties, applications, and database. I can see that only this is the resource which is using the database. So tomorrow I have a requirement or I have an update which is happening. I know that I need to work on these many resources. It can be process, it can be assets, it can be actions, anything, right? To remove everything, you can just click on this button which says reset to default and it will come back to your original settings, right? When you are here, you are directly seeing this one which says manage the tags. If I right click on and I say open it in new tab, it will directly take you to the same place where we are managing the tags, right? So once you are in this search panel, you have all this available. You can simply go here and click on this one, manage tags, and this takes you to this same place. Now, one more thing I told you that this we can actually see here as well, right? So as you can see here in the legal, I have 3 items which we just created, right? Now these 3 objects are available. I want to see which are these 3 objects. So I go here and I say list me the tagged objects, and it should again go back to the same search filter window and automatically filter the legal for you. Same concept, right? And absolutely handy and very easy to manage. One more thing which you can do here is that for all these resources which are listed here, there is an pencil icon which is available. So you can directly come here and edit this resource from this window as well, and that will take you to the same edit window, right? So that is how you manage and you utilize the tags, right? And to view the tags, you can either use the tags management portal or you can simply use this search button here and you can filter out the data. Okay. Same like you can add tags, you can remove the tags as well, right? It's absolutely easy. Let's say I do not want this to have environment testing. I can go and click on this edit button. Okay. And here I do not want this tag. I can remove this, or you can change it from here. I do not want this environment test testing. I'll delete this and I'll update, right? So once the tags are created, you can edit or you can delete them as well. Okay. So that is same like doing any create, edit, update and delete, whichever you want, you can do with this window, or you can use the tags management portal as well. If you go to docs.uipath.com and go to this page, which I have linked in the description as well, there is a section which talks about creating tags in bulk. So I want to create a lot of tags. I do not want to create the tags one by one. So you have this option which is available here. This is a PS script which is available for you. You can just download the script and you can run this PowerShell script, and that would create the tags for you in bulk, right? So if you are setting up and you want to create a script in bulk, you have that option available. You have this PowerShell script which is given by UiPath in their official documentation. Just download this, update this CSV, and you can create tags in bulk as well. Okay, so that is just to let you know that you can also create tags in bulk. You do not have to create it one by one. Okay, so coming back to my presentation, we have seen what are the permissions and what are the taggable objects, right? So to use this feature, just remember that you need to be the admin and you need to have these permissions, which is view, edit, create and delete, right? Now these are all the things which you can tag in the orchestrator. You can tag assets, process. I have shown assets and process, but I would like you guys to explore the queues, storage buckets and machines as well. Studio, you can tag packages. In Action Center, you can tag actions, right? All of these information I have taken from this place. The link is available in the description. Okay. Now, moving forward, What are the operations we have seen? We can create the new tags, we can edit the tags, delete the tags, view the tags. View the tags can be done with the help of tags management portal, or you can directly use the orchestrator search functionality as well to view the tags. And the best part, we have create tags in bulk, which allows you to create tags in bulk using the PowerShell script, which is available on the documentation portal of UiPath. Okay. Now, when I talk about the permission, there is this page which shows about what would be the permission that are available. So view, edit, create, delete on assets. So this, if you are working and as admin, you need to know which user can have what kind of access or how you can restrict people. Okay. So for example, there are 3 developers in your company. You only want to give a permission to edit the asset, which means that they can edit but they cannot delete. Let's say the developer 1 added a tag and then developer 2 went to the orchestrator and deleted the tag. You do not want to happen that. You can give and restrict those permissions as well. You can have permission like create, view, edit. All of these things are applicable with the help of the tags permission. There is a dedicated documentation which is available on the forum, which is mostly for the admins, where you can actually manage and configure that which user have what access and what kind of access. Okay, so to let you know guys that this is the tag permissions which can be set up at the tags. Okay, the last part for this tutorial is the limitations. What exactly are the limitations? The first thing, you have seen that not all the resources are supporting tags. As we are growing, UiPath would be adding in future, I guess, more resources to the tag. But as of now, in the taggable object section, we have seen that there are only a limited resources which I can tag as of now. But as we move along, I hope that we are getting more resources added to this category, right? Each object can have a maximum of 1 million key value pair that we have seen. So that again comes as a limitation. If you have more than 1 million key value pair, that becomes a challenge. Labels and key value pair have a limitation of 256 characters. So let's say if you want to have a value which is more than 256, you would need to face this limitation, right? Tags name cannot contain these special characters, but if you want to use this special character, as of now, you cannot do it, right? We do not offer logging for tags, right? So logging option is not available for tags. Tags do not support colors, right? Somebody of you might be thinking, how about giving a colors, right? Red, blue, green and blue. As of now, these are not supporting, right? And the last one that as we have discussed, that UiPath has set up some proprietary tags that you cannot use when you are creating the tags, and these are the thing which are already stored by UiPath as a proprietary, right? So this comes as a limitation. This you need to remember whenever you are working and creating on tags. Okay, the reference for this documentation is again available. You would find all these links in the description as well. Okay, so that was pretty much which I wanted to cover in this tutorial. Let's quickly summarize. First thing, tags help us to categorize the resources and provide better visibility and association among resources. This was the first statement which I gave at the beginning of the tutorial, and at the end, now I hope you guys understand what this statement means. Tags help us to categorize the resources and provide better visibility and association among resources. If this is the case, let me know in the comments and don't forget to like this video. Okay, now tags are stored in the resource catalog service. We can have tags for these assets, processes, queues, storage buckets, machine, packages and action center. That can be a limitation, but as of now you can only tag these objects. Okay, we can create, edit, delete, view. We can also create in bulk using the PowerShell scripts that also we have seen. To use the tag feature, you need to be an admin of the orchestrator. All the roles would have this tags menu grayed out, right? So if you're not an admin, you would see the tags, but that menu would be grayed out for you. Okay, then we have seen what are the limitation, and we have seen a quick demo of the tags. Okay, so that was pretty much which I wanted to cover. I hope this was insightful, and you guys like this feature as I do for the tag management portal. Okay. To know more about this, I have posted all the links whichever I am showing in this description. So I would request you to go ahead and explore this. I have put one UiPath community forum link as well where this feature has been announced. So if you have any feedback regarding the product, you can directly give it on the UiPath forum as well. Okay. So with this, I would like to wrap this video here. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments what was your feedback of using the tags, and if you have any more question, feel free to drop me a email as well, right? So thank you for watching. If you like this video, please do subscribe to the channel, and happy automation.